All right, looks like we're ready to go, guys. Appreciate you joining in. Good day, everyone, and thank you for joining us in the conference call for one of the main attractions of the 2022 PFL World Championships. It is Sadibou versus Dilano Taylor. Now, before we get started, just a quick thank you to everybody in the media who is taking the time out of their schedules to join us today. We, of course, hope we can get to all of your questions. Just raise your hand on the screen, and we will get to you as quickly as possible. Now, the 2022 season of the PFL has been nothing short of amazing so far. Tons of exciting MMA action and incredible upsets. The PFL's one-of-a-kind season sports format makes it so that all wins are crucial and every fight matters. And it all comes down to this, the championship final on Friday, November 25th on ESPN Plus pay-per-view featuring these two gentlemen, of course. Sadibou is a former Swedish kickboxing and Muay Thai champion, giving him some of the scariest leg kicks in MMA today. Competing in the PFL since 2018, Sadibou has produced several dramatic knockouts along the way, including a 17-second liver kick finish of David Michaud in 2019 and a first-round head kick KO of Kyle Magalhaes back in 2018. Sadibou hails from Stockholm, Sweden, and has, I think, one of the greatest nicknames in the sport today, the Swedish Denzel, a nod to his other ambition, which is acting in movies. So we're happy to have Sadibou here. Of course, meanwhile, we have, thank you, Sadibou. We got Dilano Taylor as well, who was on an incredible ride from Challenger Series contestant all the way to championship finalist in his first PFL season. The former Titan FC champion won his Challenger Series by knockout. That earned him consideration as an alternate, and he didn't waste the opportunity, picking up wins over João Zeffirino and the great Rory McDonald to book his spot in the final. So without further ado, let's welcome these stars, Sadibou and Dilano Taylor. Sadibou, we'll start with you. Four seasons in the PFL and now in the championship final. I mean, give us the feeling right now, finally making it to this moment.
First and foremost, thank you for having us. I appreciate that. And yeah, you just put the right word. It was finally. That's the word for me. Like I've been on this since 2018 with PFL, like you said. It's been amazing. It's been a learning experience, and I've taken all the experiences with me from each season, and I believe that it's taking me to where I'm at today. And I believe I'm in an amazing spot, like physically, mentally, spiritually, and emotionally. And I'm looking forward to 2.5 weeks.
Absolutely. I know stylistically, this is a fight that you said, hey, I like this matchup. I enjoy it. So what is it that you think about this matchup that you hold the advantage?
So coming from like kickboxing and Muay Thai background, I believe that Dilano stylistically doesn't give me anything that I haven't seen growing up in the sports of mixed martial arts, so to speak. So I believe that I'm gonna be able to put him in some different spots in the fight, and I believe that I will be more knowledgeable of the details and like certain angles and like positioning and stuff like that. That will be in my benefit during the fight.
Fantastic. Last thing I'll ask of you, Sadibou, I mean, on paper, this does look like it should be a pretty exciting matchup. What do you think fans can expect out of this fight? Are you expecting fireworks?
Of course. Like, so what I said was on paper, right? Dilano, like I told you guys, like I told him, he's here for a reason. And I expect the best Dilano, and I expect myself to bring it. So the fans should be ready for a for a banger.
I love it. Fantastic. Thanks, Sadibou. Now, Dilano, we'll get to you as well. I mean, can you talk about this ride that you've been on? You know, starting out on the Challenger Series, and now you're in the championship final. I mean, give us the feel of how wild this has been.
Oh man, the feeling for me has been, I'll just say, my feeling, how I've been feeling, is just blessed, grateful to be put in a position to where I'm able to do the things that I've set my mind out to do for a very, very, very long time. You know, the ride in PFL, of course, has been not an easy ride. You know, but Nothing in life is easy. I've never been afraid to take the long way to get anywhere, you know? So it just feels very almost surreal, but not too unexpected. I expected this to happen. It was always a matter of when, not if that makes sense.
Absolutely. Too blessed to be stressed, I believe, is what you
Too
told
blessed
us
to be
in Florida. I love it. Look, there's a lot of tape on Sadibou, right? We've seen a whole lot of fights of Sadibou in the PFL. So where do you think the advantages lie for you in this matchup?
Oh man, it's funny because like when it comes to fighting, I can go off of a person's style and I can go off of like watching them and everything like that, but it almost kind of like negates everything that I've like really learned this whole season in PFL is that you never know. You never know what a person's gonna give you. You never know what person you're gonna see the day of the fight. So it's like no matter how much shit or footage I've watched or anything like that, people would have told me it's kind of irrelevant to a point because at the end of the day, we're going out there to fight. He might not be the same person he was 3 fights ago. You know, I know for a fact I'm not going to be the same person I was a fight ago. I'm going to be way different. I'm going to be more evolved. I'm going to be sharper. I'm going to be crisper. So it's like it doesn't matter. It gets to a point where like in PFL you're kind of forced to gain experience. So it doesn't matter whether it was in a duration of a short time or a long time. You're just going to get there. You're going to get there eventually. So for me, I feel like I'm a very progressive learner. I learn too fast sometimes, and I feel like that's, you know, my blessing, my benefit to anything when it comes to this fight game.
Absolutely. Last thing I'll ask you, Dilano. I mean, this is such an intriguing matchup, right? I mean, you're on this wild ride up to the top. Sadibou's put the time in, the years in to get here. So on a night full of high-profile matchups, man, what do you think fans are going to see in this particular fight?
I think people are going to actually like our fight the most out of all the other fights. I personally think that because, I mean, let's be realistic here. Kayla's fight is the main event. How many times has she fought in the fence? She already fought that girl. She beat that girl. And I don't know, her energy isn't like as high as I would hope it to be. She said this is her last PFL season. You know, she's the GOAT of PFL. That's great for her. But I feel like besides my fight with Sai, I don't think any other fight in the $1 million tournament would be like super spectacularly amazing. I don't know.
All right, maybe fight of the night on top of it. Even Sadibou had to smile at that one. I saw it. He's excited. So
Yeah,
without further ado, we'll turn it over to the media now. So again, just raise your hand if you have a question, and Tani will get to you as quickly as possible.
All right, let's get started with Dave. Dave, can you hear us?
Can you hear me?
Yes, gotcha now.
Okay. Can't see you guys, but
You can't see us?
oh, there we go. There we go. How you doing, Postman?
Hey, I'm great. Too blessed to be stressed.
For sure, for sure. My first question for you. I was lucky enough to be there in February in Orlando for the Challenger Series. You know, Titan FC fighting for 2021. Did you ever think in 2022 when you first stepped in Orlando in that Challenger Series? By the way, a lot of good fighters were on that night. A lot of good wins since then, not even just yourself. But did you have any realistic idea that you're going to go from the Challenger Series all the way to $1 million fight within one calendar year?
Man, I'd be a liar if I said I did.
Right.
But I will say is that after that fight, I just put in my mind that I just got to be prepared for an opportunity. I just never stopped doing the same things that I've been doing. Even after Rory, maybe I took like a couple of days off, but it wasn't even like a few days off. It was more so just me not training as hard as I would normally train on a basic, on a regular.
You just mentioned Rory. That's a good question. Like, have you taken that in? You know, the PFL with it being a season and keep on going. Of course, the fight in front of you is the biggest fight of your career. You know, a great challenge, $1 million on the line. But have you taken that in and like, wow, was I the one that really retired Rory McDonald, one of the legends of the sport, one of the mainstays in the welterweight division for almost a decade? Have you kind of dealt with that and really taken that in that you were his last fight? You stopped Rory's career.
Yeah, I took it in already. I'm kind of like I'm the type of guy who's like a shark though. Like I took in everything I needed to take in from that, the experience, the feeling, everything. And for me, it's all about moving forward. It's like I can't really be too stuck in the past of the things that I've done. I can only go forward to the things that I will do and the person who I will become moving forward.
Man, best of luck to you on the 25th,
Appreciate you, Dave. Appreciate you, Dave.
I got 2 questions for Sai.
How you doing?
How you doing, my man? First one is, Morgan kind of talked about it off the front. You now, to me, are the veteran of the welterweight division. And do you cherish that spot? Do you kind of like that spot? A lot of young blood. Challenger Series was phenomenal for the welterweights. Do you kind of cherish with Rory maybe leaving, being the face of the welterweight division?
Yeah, I would definitely put it in that wording, the face of the welterweight division rather than the veteran of the welterweight division.
Okay.
Yeah, for sure. Like I'm proud that I've been here for a certain amount of years, and also like I told you guys throughout this season that I believe that you can see the progression and the evolution of me, and I'm actually far from done. I'm getting better and better and more comfortable, and I understand more so what I want to do or what I'm trying to do when I'm in there. So I believe that the face of the welterweight division is suiting for me. Yeah.
Very cool. Last question for me, guys. Win or lose after the 25th in that championship fight, Sai, are you 100% back for the 2023 season?
I will win and I'll be back.
There we go. Appreciate your time. Great skill. Great luck.
Jay Anderson.
Hey, thanks very much. And, I'll start with Sadibou. I mean, you're a PFL original. We've talked about this already since 2018, and a lot of fighters have come and gone since then. I mean, it's a story of perseverance, really, but I'm curious, did you ever doubt at any point that you would make it to the finals, that you would get to this point?
No, to be honest. Hi, how you doing, Jay? First and foremost, to be honest, I don't. Like I've seen myself at this point for a long time, and I've been I've always been fighting and training with a lot of the best, the best in the world in different categories, in different weight divisions, right? I believe that because of PFL, the format that is, it's hard to sometimes bring your best, because the fight is so like this. The fights are so, what do you call it, so close together. So sometimes, even though if you step in there, I believe that there's no. If you're in the cage, you're well enough to fight. But with that being said, sometimes it's hard to put your best performance because of it could be injuries, it could be whatever the case may be. So for now, being able to know how to train in between fights and staying healthy, I believe that a lot of those things have made me better and have made me who I am today, and also why I'm at the finals today.
Good stuff. And I'm doing well. Thanks for asking. For Dilano, we've talked a lot about the Cinderella story that you're on, and I'm just curious, is there more pressure having to live up to that, or is the pressure kind of off in this case for you?
How you doing, Jay? For me, there's never been any pressure to begin with. I feel like the most pressure I probably felt this year was maybe in the Challenger Series. And that was just because that was like the biggest form of me achieving an opportunity at the highest level. But besides that, there's been no pressure. You tell me to go out there and fight, I'm going to go out there and fight. There's never been any like pressure on my part, at least. Like, I don't feel any pressure right now. I've just been doing what I got to do. I've just been doing the same thing I've been doing very consistently. And that's what I feel like is going to allow me to win. That's what's going to make me win. That's going to be the difference maker. I never put too much pressure on myself. I always kind of laid it out the way it needed to be laid out for me, and kind of always understood the position that I'm in. in every situation, in every scenario. So it's never like too much pressure, no.
All right, and last one for me. There's a championship on the line. There's obviously a lot of money on the line here as well. And this is for both of you, really. Do you allow yourself to think about the money and what you could do with that, or do you put that off until after the 25th?
I put it off.
I can do it first. So for me, I'm thinking about the opportunity to become a world champion for the 5th time. That's what's my driving factor. I've always said that coming with that comes like the fame, the acknowledgement, the money, and all of that. But I've trained to be the best version of myself, and always fighting for my legacy. So I don't think about that, but of course it's gonna be sweet.
No, I've never thought about the money. In my head, I've never fought for money a day in my life. You know, like I've only done the due diligence of the things that I've always wanted to do for myself, which was enjoy the things that I want to enjoy, carefree. Like I wanted to be free. I wanted to be able to fight and live out my dream. You know, there's a lot of people who sell themselves to jobs and to certain things and give up the opportunity to live out their dream because they feel like that they need that obligation. Me, I've never felt that. I always wanted to, the first opportunity I got to quit my job, I quit my job and said, all right, cool, I'm going to do this full time. And I'm going to make the most out of it. I'm going to make the most out of it, you know? So that's basically what I'm doing. And I'm going to make sure I live up to that. And I'm going to start that, you know, that legacy for myself and, you know, for my family, of course.
What did you work with?
Huh? What did I work?
What did you work with?
Like job wise?
Yeah, you said you quit your job.
Yeah, so I did a couple jobs. I used to work at a thrift store doing odd jobs. I used to work a little bit of construction, and then I worked Starbucks for 5 years, making coffee. Yeah.
All right, thanks very much, guys. Appreciate the time.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you.
Ben Davis.
Good morning, gentlemen. Hope everyone's doing well. For Dilano, what advice would you give to fighters entering through the Challenger Series?
The advice I give to people entering through the Challenger Series is take the risk. Do what you got to do. Go out there and start something that, you know, you're able to finish. A lot of people go out here and they don't have the opportunities to do the things they want to do. And if you have the opportunity to do the things you want to do, go out there and do the things you want to do. Make sure you make it happen. Make sure you prove to people, fuck the people. Make sure you prove to yourself that you can do the things that you want to do because you said you're going to do it, you know?
I love it. Do you have a favorite Starbucks drink?
I hate Starbucks. Absolutely.
I love it. For Sadibou, now, when we talk about the years that you've grinded through the PFL and now you see the Challenger Series coming up and these athletes filtering in, what do you make of that avenue for these mixed martial artists?
I believe all of those door openings are perfect, and we need more of that. There's so much talent out there. There's so many people that are hungry, that are doing the right way, not cheating the game, and they actually puts fire on our assets that are actually in the tournament to not like take it for granted or to keep working because the next guy are breathing in your neck and trying to take what's yours.
Exactly. Lastly, for John Morgan, talking about Cinderella stories, Sadibou C had a ton of years in the PFL, stagger results, ups and downs. What do you make of his Cinderella story through the last couple seasons?
I didn't. Was the question for me or I didn't understand?
I was tossing that one at John.
I'm not out here answering questions. It's all about the athletes today. No, I'm intrigued by this matchup, to say the least. I mean, it's stylistically on paper, it looks like it's going to be a phenomenal matchup. But when you add in the fact the storylines behind him, Sadibou has been grinding behind the scenes. I mean, was he ever going to get to this moment? And then he says he's finally here. Here's the opportunity to really catch in on all the effort. Meanwhile, Dilano, doesn't know what he doesn't know, but here he's here. Why not just take it all the first time out? Why not make $1 million and change your life right out the bat? So I think the storyline behind these two athletes getting to this moment is phenomenal. And stylistically, I agree. I think this is going to be an absolute banger. So looking forward to this one.
All right. Lorenzo.
Hey, everybody. Thanks for taking the time for us today. Hope everyone's doing good. I'm going to start with Sadibou. Hey, Sadibou, it's good to talk to you, man. How are you?
Good, thank you. How are you doing?
I'm doing great, man. Thank you. Sadibou, you knew the pressure that Carlos Leal was going to bring going into your semifinal fight, and you executed a great game plan to get the victory in that fight. What do you think that says about you as a fighter?
The thing is, people people think that that it's gonna be easy to just do that towards me. Like, that's the game plan. Do that and think that I'm not gonna have anything to say about it. With that being said, I knew that he was gonna put pressure on me. I knew that he was gonna come forward because that was the only way he was gonna be able to win. He's not gonna win going backwards. He's not gonna win by staying on distance, which we saw. So I knew that he was gonna close the distance, and that's what people been trying to do and doing to me for my whole career. For me, it's been important of me and my team looking at the exact thing that we think that people are gonna try to put us under, and then problem solving, being honest with everything that can happen, and be prepared.
For sure. And moving on to this fight now, your opponent Dilano has not lost a fight that goes to decision. Does that put any needed pressure, any added pressure on you to finish this fight and not let it go to the scorecards?
No, to be honest, I don't think about that like that. So because he's never fought me, I never fought him. So I don't think about the way he beat that guy or lost to that guy, whatever. For me, like, Leal was on an 11-fight win streak. He had all the belief in his life. He was undefeated in the PFL, but I still found a way to win. I believe that I have a lot of experience. I have almost, I don't know if I had 90 kickboxing and Muay Thai fights previous to this. So I have a lot of experience of fighting and making adjustments throughout. So I believe that I have the team and the knowledge to be able to get the victory, if it's in finish or decision.
Gotcha. And last one for you, Sadibou. This is your first time fighting for the championship in the PFL. And it happens to be against a fighter that, was not even in the same promotion as you at the start of this year. That's been true for you for your past 2 fights now. Does that give you an added layer of difficulty in your preparation when faced with these types of situations?
Not at all. Not at all. Like, every fight is different. And it goes back to what I told you about the last question. So I'm prepared, and I believe that he's going to be the best Dilano, and he's gonna come prepared. He's gonna do everything in his power to show up, so to speak. And with that being said, I believe that I have done, and I'll keep doing for the last couple of weeks, everything that I need to do to come out victorious.
Thanks, Sadibou. I appreciate it. I'm looking forward to the fight. And moving on to Dilano. Dilano, it's good to talk to you. Thank you. Back in August, you defeated an MMA veteran in Rory McDonald, right? And you did that in a dominant way too. Sadibou was there cage side for that fight, and he gave you praise when he was being interviewed as your fight was going on in that first round. First of all, did you know that he was there cage side as you were waiting for the fight to start and making the walk?
No, I didn't know. I feel like, if you fought a fight, I don't think you're paying attention to anybody else other than the dude you have to fight and your corners.
For sure. And it's going off of that. It's one thing for someone to watch film on their opponent and see what they got going on, but he got to see you up close right there at that fight. What type of message do you think you sent to him with the way you finished that?
Delivery.
The postman, here we go. And also, there's no doubt that, it's been a whirlwind of a year for you so far. We've talked about it a bit earlier on this call. You were at the start on the PFL Challenger Series at the start of this year, and now you're fighting for a belt months later. What's your mindset been like since the end of last year? I mean, it surely takes a bulletproof mind to make these kinds of strides in this fight game, such as you have.
My mind has been sharper than ever, actually. At the end of last year, my last Titan FC fight, my friend who was in PFL, Jordan Young, he was the one who told me that I should go to PFL. And I was like, nah, man, nah, I don't know what you're talking about. Nah, nah, nah. And then actually the night of my last PFL fight, he passed away. And here comes him, foreboding and, foretelling of me being in PFL. And that's just kind of me proving him right in a way. Like, he was right. He's like, I should have been in PFL. He's like, I can see PFL for you. I think I can see you winning it. I genuinely believe you'll go out there and do your thing and people will really underestimate you. And he was not wrong. So I feel like ever since that, my energy has been just sharp, lasered. Like it's different when you have a man who knows what he wants, Before I knew what I want, but I just didn't know how. I did not understand the means of how to get there. But now my mind is so laser focused. It's just different. My energy, my spirits, everything. Like will's unshakable.
I feel that. I feel that energy from you, and I'm gonna let you go after this one here. We heard you talk earlier. You were talking with Sadibou also about your past jobs and the fact that you quit your job to focus solely on MMA. And like you just said, now you're here about to fight for the belt. What's your message for people out there who are struggling with that same decision of wanting to follow their dreams, but they just can't make that push yet?
Take the leap of faith. Take the jump. I was working at Starbucks. I worked at Starbucks for 5 years, and I worked there primarily because I worked there full-time primarily because I was a full-time student in school, and I would still have fights around that time. I would just take as many fights as I can while I was in school. So when I quit, I just graduated with my 2 degrees, and I was telling my mom, I was like, hey, I'm gonna quit my job and give me 2 years, and if in 2 years I don't get to where I need to go, I'll get a legit job. I'll do what I got to do. I'll go work a 9 to 5, no problem, no hesitation. I'll just go. And she took me up on that bet. 2 years later, I'm fighting for a world title in PFL for $1 million. So it's more so that iron will to believe in yourself, to tell yourself that you're going to do something and go out there and perform and do it, So I never had any doubts that I was able to do it. So I feel like if people go out there with that same mindset, they'll go out there and perform and do the things they need to do.
Yeah, well, we're glad you're here, and you provide a lot of motivation for us. So thank you, and thanks to both of you guys. Good luck on November 25th. Appreciate it.
Appreciate it.
Alex.
What's up, guys? Just a quick question for you guys. Delano, we all know that MMA math doesn't really work, but do you take some confidence that you were able to finish Rory McDonald and Sadibou wasn't?
Not really. The way I see it is like I said, like I can't expect the Rory that fought Sadibou to be the Rory that fought me, or the Sadibou that fought Rory to be the Sadibou that's gonna fight me. It's like I can't go out there with that mindset thinking that he's gonna do one specific thing or just this and this and this. He might go out there and surprise me and do something. I'm like, oh, I can't believe he did that. It wasn't in the game plan, Like I got to go out there and perform to the best of my ability with anybody that I see. And for Rory, that was the best of my ability at that time. Now we're up another level, we're up another echelon, and now I got to perform to the best of that ability, and I know it. So I don't really take much, pleasure in the thought, like knowing that it's just, it's not really relevant. It's not really present for me. It's not in the present tense. It's like more so in the past.
Gotcha. Thank you for that. And Sadibou, got 2 powerhouse gyms going at it, Extreme Couture, Killcliff FC. Are you kind of going in there with the Extreme Couture flag and kind of trying to show that trying to show that Extreme Couture is one of the best gyms on the planet Earth?
Like I haven't thought about it that way, to be honest. I've just thought about like I'm facing this man in front of me, and I've been preparing here in Vegas at Extreme Couture, and I believe that the gym has my back. I have their back. I have no idea if there's any like what do you call it, like deeper behind the scenes thing that I don't know about in between the gyms. If so, I have no idea. I'm just looking forward to performing in 2.5 weeks, to be honest.
Gotcha. Thank you guys and good luck.
Appreciate
it.
Trevor, Richie.
Hey guys, just a quick question for Dilano. I was going to ask you about the mental transition and what that process is like, you know, after being called in as a replacement, being 1 win away from the PFL title. And if there's
I'm sorry, I'm having like a really hard time hearing you. It sounds like you're underwater, like muffled-ish.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, but way better.
Awesome. Yeah, I was just going to ask you about the mental transition, what that process was like, if there was anything surprising about that for you, from coming from Challenger Series to replacement to now being 1 win away from the title, but it doesn't seem like much has changed. And I'm curious, how is that so? I mean, how do you stay so grounded? Is there something to that, or is that just you?
How do I stay so grounded?
Yes.
For me to stay so grounded is just my unshakable will, my genuine belief that I'm going to go out there, I'm going to do what I have to do, and I'm going to win, no matter what the cost. Like, I'm going to go out there and win. And I genuinely believe that. And I genuinely believe, like, for me, win, lose, or draw, I'm going to go out there and perform. I'm going to come back home. My family's still going to love me. I'm going to go back to the gym. The team's still going to be with me. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not going to be like, I know how it feels to lose. Everybody knows how it feels to lose once. Life is about losses, right? So once you've understood what it's like to lose and what it feels like to lose, and you're able to get over that, shake it off, and get yourself back up, the faster you're able to do that, the better. Honestly, like, the better you'll actually turn out to be in the long run, as opposed to being one of those guys who just lingers. I'm not a lingerer. I need to go.
And where did that belief come from? Do you remember a place in your life where that belief blossomed?
Oh yeah, 100%. 100%. Plenty of times in my life. Like, I never grew up with money, never grew up wealthy or anything like that. At one point in time, me and my family were basically homeless. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, once you've gone through certain things and you've experienced certain things, it kind of calluses your mind to think differently and to be differently, you know? And I feel like when you have the right people around you, they kind of help sharpen that and make you perform to the best of your ability every single time, even better than you were the last time. And I feel like I have really good people in my corner: Jason Jackson, Impa Kasanganai, Denise Gallo, Landon Quinones, my boy Sadibou, my mom, family. Everybody's behind me, bro. So I have nothing to worry about.
Thanks, Dilano. Best of luck to both of you guys.
Appreciate it.
Appreciate you.
Tyler.
Hey guys, how are you doing today?
Good. How you doing?
Good.
Great.
Thank you. So just short and sweet, I wanted to ask each of you guys, coming down to New York City. I'm not sure if it's your first time for either, but Mr. Postman, we'll start with you. Do you have any plans for yourself while you're up here in the city this time?
Man, I'm trying to get a cronut. I don't know if you know what a cronut is.
What?
I'm trying to get a cronut.
It's like a croissant donut.
donut.
Yeah. I love
They
that.
got some fire cronuts. I'm trying to get a cronut. Like, I heard that it's the season for them, and
Ooh.
I'm trying to make sure I get a cronut at least. And if I don't get a cronut, I think my trip won't be fulfilled. Like, of course I'm going out there to fight, right? But I mean, I'm still traveling. Like, I should at least get a cronut.
Hey, listen, man.
Donut. Is that what you guys said?
It's a cronut, a croissant donut. It's crazy.
Yeah.
A croissant donut. Okay, gotcha.
Yes.
I'm trying to get
All
a
right, so
cronut.
if anything, man, we'll have to make sure that we'll try to like sneak one in MSG for you. So after your fight, after everything, we'll get you your cronut, if nothing else. If you haven't had it so
Bring a
far.
box. Bring a box.
All right. Yeah. Well, hey, we'll get one for each of you guys.
Appreciate that.
And then Sadibou, same question, man. Anything for you while you're in the city?
Oh yes. So On Sunday, the 27th, is my birthday. So
Happy
with
birthday.
that being said, Friday and Saturday, I'm going to have probably 50, 60 people flying from Sweden. And it's going to be a hell of a celebration. So exactly what the plan will be, I'm not sure, but we will let New York know that we came.
All right. Awesome. Thank you so much, guys. I really appreciate it, and best of luck.
Appreciate you. Thank you.
Appreciate you.
Alicia.
Hi guys. Okay, so I
Hey.
have a couple
Hey, dude.
questions for both of you. They're probably going to be like the same. So we'll start with Sadibou.
How you doing?
I'm doing well. How are you?
Amazing.
Beautiful. How do you plan your weight cut? Like, do you have any dietary restrictions that you follow? Anything like that?
I actually work with Jack, the combat dietitian. This is the third? I'm not even sure if this is the second or third fight I'm working with him. And to be honest, I was excuse me, I was already making weight pretty easy.
Okay.
But I just wanted to, I got in contact with him during one of the fights. He was out there. So we started to talk, and I liked the way he approached everything, and it was a little bit more structured. So for me, I'm a foodie. I love food. I love to eat nice food. But the way my body feels like on its peak is when I'm actually eating like healthier, eating regularly, and not like trying to put in too much like fast food and like the things that you usually crave. So I have my wife. She's amazing and has been helping me prepare everything. So it's actually pretty easy for me. I just train, I come home, and everything is prepared, everything is measured, everything is like, and I lose a lot. So it's easy.
Like closer to your walking weight then, where you're fighting?
If I'm close, if I'm today close to my walk weight, what was?
So is the weight that you fight at closer to your walking weight? Because I know I used to drop like 20 pounds for my weight cut,
Gotcha.
and now weight. So like, is this like closer to your walking weight? Do you not have to cut much?
I still have to cut. I'm a big boy. I still have to cut.
Okay, then how do you deal with the mental aspect throughout camp, like the ups and downs of fight camp?
I didn't hear if the question was for me or for Dilano.
I'll just stick with you for right now. I have two more questions for you.
Sorry. Say that again, please.
How do you deal with the mental aspect throughout fight camp, like the ups and downs of fight camp?
To be honest, this year has been challenging in a few ways because I moved from Sweden to Las Vegas, right? So it came with like getting new routines, not having like family and friends, so to speak, around you. So it's been challenging that way, right? But in another way, like it's been so rewarding, training, actually improving, and getting the results with that, and after each fight being healthy and being able to go back to the gym. So as long as I've been able to do that, I believe that I always go back to why I do this, and that's been something for me, that's been a very very nice, like something to turn to, and also I have bigger beliefs. Like I like to pray. I like to also work a little bit with what do you call it, like sports psychologist or whatever the case may be. That's been helping me ground myself and like channel my thoughts and stuff like that, you know.
Okay.
But for me, I believe, I'm not gonna speak for Dilano, but for me, not having to deal with, am I gonna fight? I'm not gonna fight like he did. Not having to deal with a loss like he did. I believe that it's been easier for me, so to speak, in that sense. But I'll let him answer that.
Okay. Last question for you, and then I'm done. Then I'm gonna go on to Dilano. I think you were kind of getting onto this, but what is your why? Like, what drives you?
To be honest, I love to see how far I can go with things, right? As soon as I get my mind into something, like for instance, I started with kickboxing. It was just a fluke. I started with kickboxing, and then I started to compete internationally, and I became a world champion. I actually became 3-time world champion in kickboxing. And when I did that, people were like, "Yeah, kickboxing is good, it's cool, and all that, but it's Muay Thai. Muay Thai is the shit. It's harder. It's how is it?" And I was like, you know what? Let me try that. And I tried Muay Thai. I became world champion in Muay Thai as well. And when I was doing that, people were like, "Yeah, but there's a new thing. It's MMA." I'm like, all right. So let's become a world champion over there as well. And after that, it will become something else. And after that, it will become something else. It's just my mindset, I believe.
Okay. All right. Well, kill it out there. I'm not going to tell you good luck. You don't need luck. You've done all the hard work. So Dilano,
Hey,
how are you today?
I'm great. How you doing, Alicia?
I'm doing
like
pretty
$1 million bucks.
beautiful.
You feel like $1 million bucks?
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
Wait, earlier, I think that you said that you got 2 degrees.
Mm-hmm.
What are they in, if you don't mind me asking?
Criminology and sociology.
Okay. Cool. How do you implement recovery into your fight camps?
Man, I implement recovery. For me, recovery isn't just like a physical thing, it's like a mental thing as well. So like for me, I take one day, well, every day I train, right? I train every day.
Yep.
And I make one day like a shorter day for training, not too intense, not too crazy. And then I make another day just a day for just me to just mentally like log out, just kind of just log out of everything. I don't think about fighting. Fighting doesn't exist for that day.
Mhm.
For that day, it's just me, my family, food, sleep.
Cool.
TV.
I believe you should always have a day to reward yourself throughout the, hard fight camp. I actually did the same thing. So ask, how do you deal with the mental aspect throughout the fight camp? Yeah.
How do I deal with the mental aspect?
Yeah. But I think that you just already was the answer to the last one your answer? Sorry, because you said that big.
I said what?
The mental part was the biggest.
Yeah, the mental part is the biggest. How do I deal with it? Is I just keep good people around me at all times. Like anywhere I go, I'm gonna have good people around me, good energy all the time. I'm very spiritual already. I pray a lot. I kind of just log in. I just kind of just like mentally, I put everything into perspective for myself, right? I kind of like lay it out. And I place everything in a way where like, in a manner that it could be understood. That makes sense. So I understand everything the way it's supposed to be, and everything to come is the way it's going to come. And that's how I see everything.
I wasn't really going to ask this, but I guess how do you like, all those thoughts? Do you like, do you journal? Do you journal them out? Do you just kind of sit down and like think about it, or?
I used to journal them out actually. I don't journal as much anymore, no. I kind of just meditate more, just really just like zone out, like really, I don't know. I feel like I'm really good at turning my brain off. Like I'm really good at turning my brain off. I know a lot of people can't do that, but I'm really good at just turning my brain off and just doing like just singularly focusing on one specific function.
Okay. Beautiful. Okay, so then my last question is just, what's your why?
Oh man, my why is, I have so many whys, but the main why is, I have a few whys. I'm gonna give you 2. First why, of course, is my family. I want to be able to be that guy, be that person for my family. I feel like everybody in their family is blessed to be, or blessed to have that opportunity to be that person for their family, right? I feel like that's me. That's 1. 2, I want to be the best version of myself in any way possible. So every day I'm gonna try to be a better Dilano every single day. Yesterday wasn't a good day. Cool, that was yesterday. Today's another day. got to do something better, got to change up the formula, or maybe add to the formula as opposed to change up the formula. Sometimes the formula is correct. It's just your approach to the formula.
Okay, beautiful. Thank you. You're gonna kill it. Like I said, you don't need luck. You've already put in all the hard work.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
Have a good.
Take care.
Ethan.
How's it going?
Great, man. Great. How you doing?
All righty. I'm doing excellent, Sadibou. Thank you guys so much for taking the time to speak with us. Thank you to the PFL for having me. I want to start with Dilano here.
Mm-hmm.
So what is training at Killcliff with Jason Strout, Greg Jones, and Henry Hooft, and just amazing competition done for this training camp?
Man, I feel like training with these guys has done like wonders. To put into perspective, I started training with them like I want to say 3 years ago. 3 years ago, I started training at Hard Knocks. That's when the gym was called Hard Knocks. I was 1-1, and ever since then, I've just been on the tear since I started training with them. They help put things into perspective for you. They don't directly help you game plan anything because there's no need for a game plan. If you're gonna go fight, you're gonna go fight. Like I said, like the same person the day of will probably not be the same person that you've been studying anyway. So just go out there and perform. They kind of help put that mentality in you, but they don't put the mentality in you via talking to you. It's more so the training partners that you have, the people that you get to train with. They kind of help you develop yourself in a way where you don't have a choice but to develop. You could be the worst guy in the room. Literally, you can literally be the worst guy in that room, and you wouldn't have a choice but to be at least number one in a regional organization that you would go and fight in.
All right. And because you're just traveling up the coast, you're out of Florida right now with Killcliff. Mm-hmm. Is the traveling aspect daunting to you at all, or is that quite light?
I just went to Wales.
Yeah, Cardiff. Yeah, that was and on short notice too.
I just went to Wales. No, New York is nothing.
Is there anything? I know you mentioned the cronut. Is there anything outside of that you're looking forward to? Food wise, after you have to make the cut, fight. Is there something you're willing to indulge in?
Some pancakes, nice stack, extra syrup, chocolate chips with bananas in them. Ooh. I think about this often, very often, too often.
I say you're making me hungry now.
Yeah.
Well, thank you, Dilano. No, I can't blame you as a fighter. That's got to be absurd, but I hope you hold up there.
Appreciate it.
All right, Sadibou. I know recently you posted that you were sparring with Sean Strickland in preparation for this fight, and I wanted to ask, how have you been able to emulate Dilano in training?
Not with Sean Strickland. Like we train together. We spar a couple of times a week here in Las Vegas, and I always spar with him. And I said that last week during the media. It doesn't matter who I'm fighting. I always like to get rounds with him a little bit, just because of the same mindset as Dilano when it comes to you don't know what the opponent is gonna try to do, and he's gonna try to implement his game. So I'm not just working with guys that I'm trying to that I think is gonna look like Dilano. I'm just trying to work with the best guys and become better.
And outside of MMA, what's next for the Swedish Denzel?
Well, it's hard because the PFL format takes up so much time. So when the season starts, like this season, it was, I believe, May 6th was the first fight for the welterweights. Until now, November 25th, I've been on. I've been in the gym. I've been working up, even though I'm not training 7 days a week. My mind is still a little bit on the mission, and the mission is to finish off the season with the championship, right? So I will allow myself a little bit of vacation after this fight, but then we'll go back to it, and I'll be greedy for being in the same position next season as well. And that's like the short term, like, future, right? After that, like, when it comes, if you're talking about the bigger picture, I have so many plans. Like the name comes from me doing a couple of movies. I love doing stuff like that. I have a lot of investments that I want to get into and stuff like that. So I have a lot in the future. The future looks bright, I believe. But I'm staying in the moment for now.
Thank you so much. Best luck 25th. Have a good one.
Appreciate you.
All right, Andrew, close us out.
Gentlemen, thank you very much for taking your time out to talk to us. So my first question for you, Dilano. So the fight is near Thanksgiving week. I'm just curious to know, are you going to be postponing any Thanksgiving celebrations with you and your family, your friends by any chance? I'm just curious to know, is that hard to potentially not celebrate the holiday during fight week and with the weight cut and all that?
Yeah, because Thanksgiving is actually my favorite holiday. I would say Christmas is all right, but Thanksgiving is really where it's at for me because, the food. I normally go food hopping. I go house hopping, to different people's houses and got to taste a little bit of this and a little bit of that and take a plate here, But, sacrifices need to be made for the greater good. So a little sacrifice now, I can eat all the plates I want later.
Gotcha. My second question for you is, you kind of answered before, but kind of maybe we'll like to hear more more specifics. This is a tough sport. Injuries, the time that it takes to prepare, all that stuff. And I'm just curious to know who or what is the motivation that makes you get up in the morning and continue to do this sport?
Who or what?
Or if it's both, if there is a who and a what, you have to hear that as well.
What makes me get up to do the things that I need to do is my family, Well, not just my family, myself. I really want to be the best. I really want to go out there and perform to the best of my abilities in whatever I do, anything that I do. That's just been in me. I just know that when I was born, or I grew up recognizing that I wasn't average, I'm not normal. I'm not like everybody else. And I seen it from when I was a little kid. I just recognized that I wasn't normal. I wasn't a normal person. What? Probably be my mom. Who would be my mom, Watching her have to work so hard, for 3 boys and everything. So I had to make sure at least I could retire her, get her out of job and be like, hey, man, you can chill at the crib. You chill at the crib right now. You straight. You good.
Gotcha. Sadibou, for you, when did you move to Vegas to train Extreme Couture?
So last year, because of the pandemic, in between the first 2 regular season fights, I wasn't allowed to go back to Sweden. So I fought the first fight, and then my second fight I had against Kunchenko, the second regular season fight, and that was my first camp here in Vegas, and I really liked it. So, but after that, I went back to Sweden before my fight against Magomed in the semifinals last season. And after that, I started to think about maybe coming out here permanently, which I did in January. So for this season, and this will be my fifth fight doing the camp here in Las Vegas.
Okay. So you are living now in Las Vegas currently.
I am.
Okay, so it's been almost a full year. I'm just curious to know, was it hard to adjust to living in a new country, new city, new state? Was that at all difficult?
Both yes and no, to be honest. The easy part was I had my wife with me. She was fortunate enough to be able to come with me, which made the transition much easier. And also the gym, I knew the guys from being here 6 weeks during the summer. So the routines and like getting everything together was pretty smooth. But also, of course, like I have my friends and family back home. I was in Sweden only maybe 2.5 weeks total this year, from always been living there, right? So that's been not hard, but like sometimes you can be a little bit like you have to remind yourself why you do this, and yeah, and for me it's all worth it.
And actually, that's my last question for you. I asked it to Dilano. Who or what keeps you motivated to get up in the morning and continue doing this very arduous sport?
I'm sorry. Can you repeat the question? Because when you started, I got another call that I had to.
Oh, no problem. No problem. Yeah, so yeah, same question. Speaking of why, I asked it to Dilano. I want to hear from you. What gets you motivated? Who or what gets you motivated to continue this sport? To get up in the morning and go through the training and the ups and downs and all that stuff.
To be honest, I touched that a little bit earlier, and for me, it's trying to become the best version of myself. I love what I do, and I'm in an amazing situation. I feel so fortunate to be able to do what I love, and to be able to see how far I can take this. Right, I have and on that note, also like inspiring people and motivating people without even trying, just by being myself and trying to be the best version of myself. That makes me even more like I don't know what the right word is, but for me, it's just like waking up and doing what I love.
Thank you very much. Best of luck to both of you on the finals.
Appreciate you, bro. Thank you.
All right, that'll wrap it up. Appreciate everybody. Sadibou, Dilano, appreciate your time. Thank you, of course, to all the media members. We had an Invicta champ asking questions. We learned about cronuts, so it was a great afternoon. And listen, put it on your calendars now, media. We'll have a call next week at the same time, Tuesday, November 15th at 1 p.m. Eastern with Aspen Ladd and Julia Budd ahead of that clash as well. So thank you for the time. The 2022 PFL World Championships, Friday, November 25th, Hulu Theater in New York. Streaming live on ESPN Plus pay-per-view. We'll see you then.
All right.
All right, guys. All right.
Take care.
Okay. Take care.
Everyone.
See you guys.
Yeah. Bye.
Recording stopped.